and we will say hello to the people that are watching on YouTube. The VODs, hi. Hello.
Hello.
How is everybody doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Why do I
We
keep on
love
getting
you,
recommended?
YouTube.
Sorry,
Or the
yeah,
people
hi.
on YouTube.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay, we got a 1. So, Kipper, would you mind telling us, the people in the chat and courts, what happened last time?
Oh,
Wait.
me and?
No, you. You will tell everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
Courts, can you
I'm
explain
included.
everything?
With
You
being
are
told. That's what I
included
get it
in
now.
being told, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, courts can't say nothing.
If you want to know, absolutely nothing, literally
could.
nothing has happened.
It'd be summarized.
Nothing happened. Actually,
Literally
it was
nothing happened. In fact, it was the most boring section ever.
It was
Stop.
kind of
I
important
can't even say that with a
you
straight face.
had, like, that you would have seen it. It's kind of sad that you were not at this. Okay, so essentially what happened, it starts off with Mr. Ambrose dangling from the ceiling because stalactites are a pain in the ass. He eventually manages.
That's why they're
to
stalactite.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, I won't
That
interrupt.
combo.
That just made it.
Oh.
That just flashed me an
I'm gonna-
image of like Ambrose with like everyone's so mean to me meme. Yeah, but he manages to wrangle himself out, and somehow Kipper manages to deal damage to this thing. But I think it was because of Greenie's bardic inspiration. But then after that, we were all like, we don't want to waste all of our mana on this thing if there's something even worse waiting in the depths. And oh, it was a crit. Okay, understood. So we just once again jumped down yet another hole. This will have been, I think, maybe the 3rd hole that we jumped down.
3rd hold, yes.
Signal us
And-
flashbacks, signal us flashbacks, signal us flashbacks.
No. So we just keep walking down, and eventually we start seeing a larger opening, and in this larger opening you start seeing torches that are lit. And we were like, how are these torches lit? That means someone had to have recently lit them. So we start following them. We eventually find, what was it, 4 or 5?
5, yes.
Okay, and there was supposed to be 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we found 5 of the 6 dwarves, and they were all banged up a little bit, but one was in worse condition, not dying, but very hard to walk, and he was healed just a bit, but the 6th one apparently fell into a chasm and completely died, and they were like, yep, 'tis what it is to be a dwarf, ha ha ha, let's get some drink up in the up place. They said exactly those words. So after that, I'm so sorry, Ambrose, that I'm the one that has to recite the last episode, because like some actually cool stuff happened.
I mean, if you guys want to team up, I wouldn't mind.
Let's see. What happened
I
next?
shall make you suffer.
Okay, I'll do it.
I'll provide interjections when need be.
Okay. So, if, oh, why did I say if? Why am I'm not about to ask a question. I'm so brain dead. I didn't sleep last night because my cats were trying to murder each other.
Yeah, I understand
Okay.
that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That literally happens to you all the time, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, pretty much, we start bringing the dwarves down a way. It was a path where the dwarves were like, we're pretty sure it's this way. And we're like, who are we to argue with people that literally are in the mines all the time? We are not cave people. So we followed them, and eventually we get to a land bridge in this massive cavern, and we start crossing over this massive land bridge, and the earth starts shaking yet again, and the land bridge slowly starts crumbling. It's this massive thing, and we're like, ah, crap, everybody run. So literally we do everything we can to try and get across. Like, Kipper uses rabbit hop, gets to the other side, and implants his scythe into the other side that he used a spiritual weapon for, and then he connects his rope to it. Chi cast stay right there spell on the scythe, and Kipper threw the rope back to people just in case if people fell, they could grab onto the rope. And then Rexmoa cast blow wind. Oh, sorry, my cat just
Oh.
yeah, my cat just got attacked.
Wait, okay.
Sorry. Okay. So. Oh, dang nabbit. Sorry, Mau Mau. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, okay. We literally do everything. Rexmoa blows everyone towards the exit. The dwarves manage to make it through, and then we get the fallen spell. Blows. How dare you?
Oh my lord, dishonor.
I'm gonna be honest. You said we sucked so bad, like, so many times in that first sentence, where I'm just like, I was fighting my demons, not like making all of the sucking jokes. That's not a part of the recap, by the way. YouTube.
Oh my lord, you guys.
Okay. Yeah, we fall. And we keep falling, and then we bonk our heads, and
After several moments of mainly me unable to make any check for the life of me.
oh yeah, no, Ambrose was doing a
Done.
very
I was
bad job. He was
struggling.
tripping.
I even had Tensor's floating disc cast under me to stop me from falling, and I still was struggling.
Just tumbled.
Tumbling about.
Yeah. And we fall into this cavern, and we felt a presence, and we heard a voice. And this voice was... I'm totally not looking up the name.
Oh my
Vitius.
goodness.
Listen here.
It's like the most good part.
I
I'm bad
cannot
with
believe
names.
this.
I'm bad with names. This is why rolling a 1 really was bad for you. Oi. He finally got out. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah,
can you
that's fine.
progress?
Dishonor, you can continue while Bip Bip wrangles the cats.
Okay.
No! No.
So
Oh,
yes,
shit.
as Bip was saying, we fell into the abyss. The only assumption was that was death. I mean, what else would come of us falling into a darkness so deep that we cannot see anything? Even from the bridge where we stood previously, when we looked down, it was nothing but darkness. The depth was definitely more than 100 feet. Definitely enough to kill any of us. However, when we hit the ground, while it did hurt, there was strangeness in the fact that we were still okay. We hadn't actually suffered any new injuries. Almost more like it was just the mental whiplash of falling and then stopping. And upon looking around, there were bits of light that we could really only process as being tiny little stars, though they were more likely actually crystals upon further inspection that blotted around us, granting us enough ability to see despite the seeming inky blackness that was around us. And as we gathered ourselves and tried to understand and seek our surroundings, there was this warmth that surrounded us as we were able to witness Vithius herself, the mother of life and one of the four titans. The one who is depicted as a turtle, a rather large one, with a mountain on her back. And sure enough, upon witnessing her glory, even trying to comprehend how big she actually was is nigh impossible. To us, we are not even as big as one of her eyes. And when she moved, as she would later explain, attempting to wake and stand, despite how she was trying not to, she couldn't help herself, and those slight movements were enough to move and shift the plates around us, causing the earthquakes. Once we had finally is what I was trying to say. Yeah, combined finished and finally right there. Once we had finally reacquainted ourselves, and in a somewhat of a strange introduction with Vithius, that despite both us and her knowing each other through just the strange going-ons of how we got here, Vithius automatically knowing us because we are, well, in a manner of speaking, her literal children, and to us, it is very easy for us to recognize the Titan of Life herself, as she is very well known. Though seeing her is a different story, that is very a strange thing to occur. She spoke to us individually, yet we all still heard it. A small, though important sentence to each of us about how she has seen our lives as they've gone on, felt our suffering, and felt our desire to move forward, to survive, and to do good. And I will go ahead and repeat one thing specifically so Taurin can hear it, because something was said to Taurin. My beloved daughter, unlike the others, these mountains were your home. But matters both of your choosing and not led you down another path. I see that, despite the twist of turns you have been forced to take, the heartbreak and betrayal, you are still strong and determined. I am so proud of you. I wanted to repeat that one specifically because Taurin did not get to hear it. And I'm unsure if she had heard it in the VOD just yet.
Not yet.
But each of us received a similar sentence referring to what has gone on so far in our lives and what brought us to here, seeing Vithius face to face. However, there was a bit more with Ambrose, I'd say. It took a little bit longer as she spoke about how Ambrose was essentially forcing himself to suffer, and still is, by taking on the blame of the things going on around him, despite the fact that he is really at no fault. And it's kind of here that we can really tell just how much that Vithius feels for us. As she spoke to us, it was plain as can see that the pain that we felt and the pain that all of her other children have felt, she too feels. The suffering is both real in yourself and her. And speaking of that, telling Ambrose that he need not shoulder such a burden of blaming himself. He should instead live in the present and move towards the future. The Titan requested that Ambrose make a promise to her to make sure to maintain the kindness and compassion in him, to protect the downtrodden in need, and to also let go of what burdens him, and to love himself and be kind to himself. And Ambrose technically promised that. He promised everything referring to others, but when it came to himself, he only said he'd try. Still, Vithius seemed proud of the answer and accepted it. Yet the next statement was to give Vithius Ambrose's sword. And it was quite obvious that Ambrose was struggling and hesitating, but he did eventually hand over the sword, promising someone that he will move forward, which led to Vithius quite literally swallowing the blade that Ambrose has been carrying this entire time. She also made a comment to Chi about how her time will come, and she must be ready to play her part. Alright, so that's something I just want to comment on and just point that out, because I feel like that means something. And it was here that we were... Yeah, it might. It was here that we were able to ask any questions that we may have had for the Titan. But the first thing that Vithius said before that was an answer to Ambrose's question that he asked originally. I forgot to mention, when we transitioned down here, Vithius told us that we can relax, we are safe, there's nothing to worry about. But Ambrose stood up and said that he will not rest until the dwarves are okay. And here Vithius answers that the dwarves are indeed okay, then that she will guide them to the surface. Following that, the question that Ambrose asked was if there was anything he can do for his mentor besides ending it all. A strange statement that I will not speak more on. And Vithius's response was that sometimes hard decisions must be taken, sometimes we have to lose people. And that Ambrose probably already knows the answer. And Ambrose, kind of choking a bit, said he did always know the answer. And with that, Kipper asks about the sixth dwarf to confirm whether or not the sixth dwarf did indeed actually die, and Vithius said that said dwarf that we were unable to save is now in a better place, confirming the other dwarves' suspicions. And the final question that was asked was by Rexmoa, who asked if the goddess of life herself has chosen anyone yet. The shard of Vithius must go to someone, and we still not know who that is. And so Rexmoa asked Vithius if she has a chosen. And Vithius's response was a bit expeditious. It was described as being, there was a rather large sense of urgency to the way she spoke. But she said that she did have a chosen. One that she knew from the get-go that it would be this person. And while the actual answer she gave was rather quick, she moved on to something else, talking about how there was still something wrong with our group. Despite everything that we've done, despite all the good that we have succeeded in doing, and that we are doing so much, we are still dealing with an issue. And to put it simply, that is complete and utter trust in our companions. Our journey ahead is perilous, and Vithius says to us that how are we to move forward to save everyone if we can't even trust in each other? Essentially going on to say that bravery and strength does not come from secrets, but from seeking aid from others. The task that we have at hand is not for one of us, but all of us. A single thread may be weak, but when joined with more, it becomes an unbreakable rope. Following this, our time with Vithius will come to an end, as she tells us to lay a hand upon her beak and to close our eyes. And once we do, though there was a bit of not so much hesitation, but perhaps like concern and wondering about what's about to occur, we do eventually lay our hands upon her, and as we close our eyes, a wind engulfed us. A warm one that seemed to put our worries at ease, as suddenly the scent of flowers and grass surrounded us. Our bodies became lighter, almost like the pressure of being so deep in the earth removed. No longer were we touching Vithius, no longer were we in darkness, yet stood in the grassy clearing, with a sky full of fluffy clouds with evening sun warming us once more. Despite the rather dry grass that would normally surround... wow, I'm forgetting the name of the city. Galvathir, that's what it is, Galvathir. Where we appeared, the grass below us was healthy. Several moments of confusion later, Kipper moved over to hug Ambrose, who was just kind of sitting on his knees as he looked around. Going so far to call him brave, but Ambrose's response was the opposite. He said that he was stupid and foolish. Yet, such a statement was quickly acted upon by Vithius as a warm breeze swept through the clearing. That to Kipper, Villa, and... for some reason, my brain is saying, "Ah, yes, Quartz." No, Taurin. Who technically was there, even if her actual person wasn't. It felt just like a warm breeze, and perhaps even a whisper on the wind that was not able to be heard. To Ambrose was words. A request. A desire to have him vow something. Which was, do you vow to be compassionate and kind? Do you vow to stand up for those in need? Do you vow to protect those that are downtrodden? Do you vow to forgo the past and stand for the present and future? These words only Ambrose could hear. It took him a moment as Ambrose looked around, trying to find the source, but he said aloud that he would, that he did vow, indeed. And as he did, the ground itself started to violently shake, as if the plates were moving, before the earth split with a large gas set into it. Something came out of it, something that sprung into the sky, and as the sun blinded us as we attempted to see what was shot up, down, hurling into the ground, landing directly in front of Ambrose as the earth reaffixed itself. Sitting within the soil was a similar blade that Ambrose recognized. A sword that belonged to his mentor. However, it was different. The hilt had been colored for marble, and the blade was sharp. Almost unnaturally. Something that a smith could not replicate. And replacing the pommel was a jade green stone. With the words, Vithius spoke to Ambrose, saying, "Rise, my warrior, paladin of Vithius, and stay true to your oath." And that is where the session ends.
Nice.
That is it. That is it. Correct. Correct. You are right, my friend. Indeed. Indeed. So yeah. You guys find yourself on the outskirts again of the entrance of the Dwarven Kingdom in the mountain as the sun starts to slowly set. As you can see, you know, the large mountains in front of you, and the entrance to the kingdom lies there. You again have been teleported out pretty much, and are standing in a patch of very green grass, different from the usual dark and, well, not dark, but dry and almost dead grass. And yeah, you guys could not hear the words that Vithia spoke to Ambrose, obviously, but you saw the earth splitting up and reforming itself together, and suddenly a blade just drops down and is set in front of Ambrose. He grabs it and performs an oath. And that's where you guys end up. What are you guys doing now? As, again, sun is starting to set, mountains get very cold, as winter is closer and closer as every day passes.
I'll be rather awestruck, simply staring at the blade that I remarked last time that when I spoke the oath aloud, that I had risen in front of my face.
I guess Taurin kind of see what Ambrose is up to and look at the blade with him and go, what is that? What's going on with this?
As I continue to look over the sword, seeing my reflection, there is a certain strange expression on Ambrose's face as I look torn between both happy and sad, the twitch in my smile signifying such. It is not my mentor's blade, but at the same time, it is. It's the blade that was given to me. Reforged.
Oh, so you forged it together. It was like a gift?
I'm unsure how Vithius did this, or even what it truly means. But I can feel a different weight to it. And this. I'll kind of like almost move the pommel closer as I look at the jade stone.
The jade stone.
As you can see, by the way, the description of the stone, it is a roughly cut gem that is jade in color. It doesn't have any transparency whatsoever, but it is a beautiful green. Chi says she has her ways. She is the mother of all creation, after all.
I suppose so. The scriptures I read of her, the depictions, they were very different from one another. Sometimes she was depicted as this great being who saw the suffering of everything and granted life to everything. But when I was little, it was a bit different. I was, in a way, I suppose, scared of her. Scared of what the person, the being that created all life could be.
Mm.
I will say,
Taurin.
would somebody want to give me a religion check? Give you a little bit more of a background on Vithius.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yay. Okay, so what happened?
A religion.
Pretty
I'll go ahead
much-
and opt to do one.
Okay.
I mean, whoever. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I did terribly. So.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Chi says, and yet she seemed as merciful as well. Anyone I could think of, really. For all of you guys, you would have heard the tales, because, well, depending on where you've grown, they were either fantasy tales or, you know, just the odd story here and there about the Titans and how they have created everything, how each Titan is meant to symbolize something, and how all of them pretty much work together to make what you see around you. You would have known that Vithius is, in fact, the one who created the earth itself. It made nature, it made creatures. So, yes, your statement was correct. In fact, for her, you guys are all her children. Every single tale was depicting Vithius as a turtle with a mountain on her back. And, well, now having had a close encounter with this Titan, you can understand why. The sheer size of Vithius is breathtaking. It's scary for people who don't like giant beings. And now, knowing what you know and remembering what you've heard, you can probably guess, well, not guess, but you can deduce that you and the Dwarven Kingdom were on top of Vithia's back the whole time. It would also be shown because now that you are outside, you are out of the mountain. To put a little bit of perspective on the sheer size of the Titan that you witnessed.
It's remarkable we were even in there. Taurin kind of like looks at the mountain, the size of the terrain, basically.
Can I have miniature context as to what happened while I was gone?
Oh yeah, just pretty much. Taurin was asking about the sword that Ambrose is holding in his hand now. After he made a promise to seemingly no one. And that is about it.
Understood. The issues, I know Kipper would have wanted to have things to say, but I think I forgot what they were from the last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kipper will find them again. I just don't know what to say.
You will find them.
We'll find them.
You're taking Harvest to Isengard.
No. But yes, again, you guys are outside of the kingdom where you first entered. You see, like, not too far into the distance, the watchtowers and the large archways that the Dwarven kingdom is surrounded by. Again, the sun is starting to set. You have been told that your mission would be fulfilled, that the dwarves, at least the surviving ones, are going to make it to the surface. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I would trust the word of a giant turtle.
What? No, she's obviously lying.
No, totally.
So do we have to still guide them back to the town, or are they?
They are not
I
with
kinda-
you. You guys are alone at this point. You guys, when the cave was collapsing, you got split.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is the reason why Ambrose asked the goddess if the dwarves were okay, because we didn't actually know what happened to them.
We gotta go back and find them. Got it.
But it's confirmed that they are okay and will reach the surface.
But don't we gotta go back?
Oh, we need
The
to go
one
back
dwarf's-
for...
The one dwarf threatened us, you know? If you don't
we need to
come
go
back,
just to say
better not come back
something
at
to them,
all.
That is true.
But
I think Kipper's still kind of awestruck by what happened, but more so focused, like, in his brain on trying to figure out what to say to Ambrose. That's my lore reasons. Instead of, like, it's a better reason than cats trying to murder each other made me forgot where I was.
Mm-hmm. But we gotta get some freaking notes, but
No,
Oh.
I'm strictly here through emotions.
So?
The emotions I feel are the things I remember.
True. All right, so yeah, you guys have witnessed a very insane, I guess, happening. I don't know how else to describe it. You still, yes, as Taurin said, you still need to go back, because after all, you need to report that the deed was done.
Mhm.
But other than that, you are fine. A little bit dirty, maybe there's some dust here and there, maybe a pebble, got inside some of your clothes, but you are completely fine.
I am the pebble.
Yes.
Oh no. There's a pebble, and Kipper just points at Ambrose. There's a pebble in that shoe. And that shoe.
There's a pebble in our shoe. Coates, were you saying something?
I was gonna ask. I was like, but are you gonna use that sword, or what are your plans? The Taurin would say, then ask.
I'll look at the blade and I'll just like gently run my hand along the side of it and say, it would be wrong to not use it. I have been given a choice to either continue looking back or to use this blade to cut into the present. This entire time, I've been using the blade, the one my mentor left me with, to attempt to find a path to what I lost. But what is lost for me is going to stay lost. I've already recovered something else that I need to maintain and keep safe. And I'll kind of like look over at the group and say, now, instead of using this sword for myself, I'll use this sword to ensure that our paths stay aligned, that we can continue together rather than separately. I have made many mistakes before and after I met you, and I'm going to fix those. This entire time that I've been with you, all of you, I have been struggling with myself, struggling alone, saying that I can't let you help me. I can't drag you into my problems. And yet I still tried to force myself into yours. It was wrong of me. And I'm going to remedy that, one way or another. The promise I made.
Oops. We all
Go
had
ahead.
ideas.
Yes, continue.
I
What were you
think
saying,
you-
Kipper?
Oh, okay. I think just you staying with us all this time has been remedy enough. I would like to continue to travel with you. And thank you for opening up to us. You know, it's silly, but I've always worried just a little bit about you, but not that I don't also worry about this old geezer lizard man over here. Because he's doing a lot of things an elderly person shouldn't be doing, but yeah.
I close my eyes and say, I know, Kipper. I know you've been worried. I've been pretending this entire time that your concern was fake. A nicety. But it's wrong of me. I will apologize for even just thinking that way. Previously, I tried to use it to keep everyone at arm's length, to keep myself, I guess, safe. It was the only way I knew how. I refused to learn otherwise, despite what my mentor taught me. I desecrated his teachings in an effort to live in the past. Which is exactly why I'm going to look forward now. I'm going to look at you rather than away from you.
With that, Kipper's gonna do the cheesy thing as Kipper always would, and he's just gonna go in for like a bear hug, except he's small, so it's like a mouse hug.
I think that would be called a bunny hug.
Be bun
How
bun.
dare
Yeah.
you?
How dare you?
Bun hug.
Well? Oh,
Oh.
there goes Chi.
Oh yeah.
Never mind.
She will speak up after a moment, sounding almost sheepish. Ambrose, I have a request of you, if you don't mind.
After what I just spouted, if I didn't listen, I'd be going immediately back in my ward. And I will wrap an arm around you as I kind of like carry the blade on one shoulder. referring to Kipper, I mean.
We'll see what she has to say. Let's see. She will then continue. Well, the aura from the stone, it reminds me of home. And it has been a while since I have been there. May I travel alongside you for a bit?
I'll glance at Chi, who I'm pretty... Is Chi on Rexmoa's hip right now, I think?
It was on Kipper's.
Kipper's hip.
My hips don't lie. They multiply because I am a rabbit.
So I'll kind of glance down towards Chi's voice and ponder for a moment and say, well, of course, if you don't mind possibly being in harm's way. Just because I vowed to keep myself in the present does not mean I won't stop putting myself in front of others. So you said your home was the Feywild, if I'm recalling. The stone reminds you of the Feywild, and
She laughs and she says, I will be fine. I am not without my tricks. She nods. Yes, it does indeed.
well, if that's what you want. And with that, I will kind of start to kneel down as I gently push Kipper slightly, and I will kind of just sit down and put the blade along my lap. Still struggling not to take my eyes off of it. And I'll kind of like put a hand out for Kipper to like unhook Chi from his belt and hand her to me. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I want to hear what you have to say.
I was just gonna say, I know we have business to attend to. Well, I think we should take a moment to just sit here.
Cheese jar would just flicker a little bit, and a couple of flowers would grow on it.
Kipper releases the hug to look down and start unclipping the jar that contains chi. And as he hands the jar, he's like, I apologize. I know it's silly. I'm sorry of how clingy I was. Not necessarily... I feel strongly. I don't really... When I get into a friendship, I tend to either go all in or... Yeah, no, that's actually the only option. So, I selfishly just wanted you to stay with us, even when I saw that being near people was causing you emotional pain, and selfishly, I just wanted you to stay. I'm sorry about that, but I'm happy that you're able to find some level of closure.
I'm not sure I'd call it closure. The closure will come a different day. Which is part of the reason why I want to sit here. But I'd like to say something else first. And I have, again, kind of a strange expression, this like mixture of sadness, but also fondness of what's happening around me. Where my eyes are slightly showing that of a smile, but there's a little bit of pain behind them. I'll say, I don't think your clinginess was an issue. In fact, it was helping me, despite how much I tried to pretend otherwise. I would say something similar to Rexmoa. Your ability to talk with me, despite how much I was pushing you and both you as well, Kipper, away. And even if we've not had a lot of personal moments, Taurin, your willingness to help me has not gone unnoticed. I do greatly appreciate it. All of it. I can see how much you're trying. How well you really are doing, the actions you're taking. They are doing a lot of good. Not just for those around us, but for each other as well. I have found them endearing. Though, saying that feels a bit embarrassing. As I'm sure you're aware by now, I'm not good with speaking with anyone, including you all. I have been quiet, not just when trying to help, but even speaking about myself. The only time I open up is about my mentor, and even then, I stay quiet about many things. And I've even gotten angry with you, Kipper. Trying to push you away when you're just trying to help. Letting my emotions get the best of me. You all are good people, and I want you to know that.
You just reminded me of when, before all this happened, before you remind me of when Fisher was still a good person. And I think that I realize now that I miss my brother. But obviously you are 10,000 times better than him, considering that you continue to further yourself for the betterment of the people you meet. Even if you don't want to, and for us, even though you wanted to leave, something still kept you. You had no obligation to stay, but you still did. And, I don't know. Kipper's just kind of looked down at his hands. He doesn't really have much more to say.
I suppose maybe you're right. It's weird. Every time I hear you speak about me, and I hear Rexmoa speak of me, I hear Taurin speak of me, she as well. It's like something in me changes. You say these pretty words that I feel so fond of. My mentor, and perhaps the reason why I'm like this, was not good with words. We would barely speak to each other, even an entire day of traveling. Yet, with you all, I feel this strangeness in my heart. I'm not sure how to describe it. It feels like the same thing I felt when I saw Vithius. This grandness that I only feel when I'm with you all.
I think whenever I look at you, I look at Rexmoa, and I look at Taurin, I see the family that I once had. And I'm so glad to be able to experience this adventure with you. Even if we've encountered some pretty horrible things along the way. I think if it had been anyone else, I would have gone insane by now. But we had a meal served by an otter person. Yeah, that was pretty weird. We ate all of the elven vegan food. I never expected to be outside of Misspell. I'm just realizing this. Yeah. Mermen were a thing. I'm gonna be honest, I did not realize that there were any other towns like this far north. Like, I knew the elves and the dwarves existed, but I didn't realize there were gonna be like human settlements and other things. I'm just kind of yapping right now. I should probably stop. But you guys you mean a lot to me, and I don't want to let this family fall apart, so I will do everything I can to keep it together.
I see. So that's what this is. I think I've been missing it this entire time. We aren't just acquaintances, are we? We've been together, maybe not that long, but we're together nonetheless. We're friends. We're family. I think this is the first time I can say that and truly mean it. Not since my mentor.
Kipper's gonna like tear up a little bit. I know there's like only so many times that I can hug you, but I don't want to overdo your social bubble.
I've been finding myself enjoying the hugs that you give me. At first, I struggled with them, but I am finding them endearing.
I'm just happy that I could call you a brother. And with that, Kipper's gonna like go on for another hug, but this time it's gonna be tighter. You might, Ambrose might feel a little bit of wet on his shirt. Pay no mind.
It's funny you say that because despite the rather quietness coming from me, I would say that the Kipper probably feels the same sensation.
Yeah. This is what found family is, y'all.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Let's see. Let me put you guys on another pretty map. There.
That's
Well, there's a volcano on that one, but pay no mind. Just about
I mean,
the,
it's
the
pretty,
clouds.
but-
entirely different. Like, how did we get here?
That is pretty,
Glorious.
Pretty, but
Quite
all
epic.
scary too.
quite scary indeed. But yes, at this point, the lights of the, setting sun is starting to fade away as night makes everywhere around you darker. You are still on the outskirts of the kingdom. So how are you guys going to spend the night? Oh, this one is a little bit better, actually. I'll put you guys on this one. I have a lot of images. I need to pick one. There we go. That one's a little bit better.
Listen to me.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Let's see.
Don't mind the people getting raptured in the background.
Don't you worry about those. That's fine.
Yeah. They're getting isekai'd right now.
Indeed. So, how are you guys going to spend your night? Because as I said, it is getting dark.
Should we head into town or should we camp?
Well, either way, it's gonna be a surprise for that warden.
How far are you guys? I would say you are outside of the kingdom. You know that it would take you a little bit to get inside of the actual town itself. But I mean, it's a hike. Not really a hike, but it's a trail that you can follow. You guys on the distance, you would also see the odd, cart going in and out, or people walking about.
Yeah.
Obviously you are a distance away from this quote-unquote traffic, but if you wanted to, you would still arrive at the town at a decent time to find sleep, I guess. She looks around at the others from her jar. How tired are you all after the day's adventure?
You know what? I think it is starting to catch up with me. All that jumping in holes and crying in people's arms. It's not totally becoming of me.
We've done a lot today, both physically and mentally. I'm still kind of feeling the pain from earlier.
Kipper, hearing that, just kind of grabs Ambrose's arm and, looks closely. He's like, wait, did you not fully heal yet? Do I need to cast anything? Any aiding?
I'm doing fine. It's more just how draining it is. I did get a bit roughed up.
Can Kipper, like, roll to see how much he needs to heal, or out of character?
Well, Ambrose, you can give him a rough idea of, you know.
Or
Yeah, I mean,
dishonor.
Ignoring what I'm actually saying, prior to resting, I do have like a minor injury, yes. I'd be missing like 10 HP, I think. So,
Okay.
or like around there.
Kipper's gonna be like, you do realize I can send swoons.
I just don't want you wasting your magics on something that's unneeded.
I would say that it is very needed. I don't care if it's literally just a scrape or boo-boo. Wow, I really just said that word. Wow, okay. But, yeah.
All
Oh my
right,
goodness, I can't
so
believe I actually used that word. I like completely broke my brain by using the most cringiest word.
you did it, man. What level are you casting it? Is it level 1?
Just level 1.
All right, so you would get a total of, it's 2+ level. With your cleric, that would be 9 points of 2+ level, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2+ level.
2+ spell level, that is. Yeah, so you'll get 9 points of
so-
healing back. And she calls out, let your friends take care of you, Ambrose.
When I leveled up, it like gave me back all of my HP. I think I was missing like 12 hit points, I think.
You're still kind of
So
beat up, so.
I'm
Just this way,
basically at max HP, basically.
we're gonna be taking a little bit of a hike. There's no reason for you to feel the pressure in your legs if it's easily solvable. I'll get my mana back by the time I wake up.
I'll kind of put a hand over my face as I kind of glance down at Chi and Kipper and say, you're right. Let my friends take care of me.
But not in the mafia kind of way, because that's murder.
So yeah, you receive a bit of healing, Ambrose, which definitely helps you out with whatever smaller injuries you had gotten before. And yeah.
Kind of just like move my arm slightly, kind of feeling out the possible pain I might have, and it's saying that it is mostly gone at this point. Just like that's, that small lingering feeling you have. I appreciate it. You are good at what you do.
Heck yeah, I am. Kipper, like, wipes the imaginary dust off of his hands.
You see there's actual
it's
dust coming out.
I was gonna say, luckily it's not cheese.
Oh yeah, you know what? It's not melted cheese on a certain tabaxi's dress.
Yeah, no, the melted cheese is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she uncheesed us.
Correct.
Well, I think it's not a bad idea if we head back to town, or at least if we're heading back to town, we can probably camp if it gets to be too far away.
Yes, let's start making our way.
All right, so you guys are going to decide to head into the kingdom once more.
Yeah.
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 And out of curiosity, would we have enough time to like talk during the way?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I was about to say it's gonna take you guys a few minutes to get there, several minutes. So yeah, if you guys are willing to talk during that, yeah.
I'll speak up and say, I'm considering what Vithius said down there. That trust thing she spoke of. I'm trying to find certain words to figure how to say something. It's difficult.
I understand. I think some of the things down there were applicable to all of us. I don't want you to think that keeping a secret from us means that you don't trust us, but I think all of us are keeping secrets because we're worried that it might hurt the others. We are a bunch of mysterious doofs. Kipper, looks at Rexmoa, who's presumably doing something dumb.
Eating his tail.
Exactly.
Taurin,
Yes.
anything from you?
Not much. She'll just be enjoying just listening to the others at the moment. She doesn't really have much to say at this point.
Okay. Alright, continue. Sorry, Ambrose.
You all heard Vithius say something to me. The question I asked. I'm sure you're wondering what I meant by that. What I meant by asking if there's anything I can do. I could have asked where he is. I could have asked how to get to him. I could have asked so many other things. And yet I asked if there was anything I can do besides ending it.
I think it's because you knew what question you needed to ask already. And it seems that Vithius had the answer that you were afraid you might hear.
I'm sure you remember, Kipper, when I became a little hostile with you before getting here to the Dwarven City. I was rude to you.
I don't remember it strongly, just because I know it stuck in your mind. I could just see hurt in your eyes. I didn't see it as an attack.
I withhold part of the truth that day. The true secret I've been carrying this entire time that I have not told anyone.
Oh.
It is true that I've been on a time limit this entire time for the 10 years that I've been traveling alone. Ever since my mentor left. I specifically didn't tell any of you the why. I've not told anyone that. I just said that he left me for some reason. I've always known. I have always known the reason why my mentor left.
It's okay, you can take your time.
The first step for me to move forward is the hardest one. So this will be that step. I will say the one thing I've been trying not to say this entire time that we've been with each other. My mentor is human. He is the most human man that I've ever come across. The amount of goodness in that man's heart exceeds anything I've ever seen. He is struggling every day of his life, yet he still went through the effort of helping others, the effort of helping me. He helped me when he had no reason to, when helping me could have hurt him. Even when I foolishly chased after him one day and forced him to take care of me. It was my fault that he had to suffer some. I only made his issues worse. And I don't regret it. And I know he didn't either, because that's not the type of man he was. He shouldered my burden and his. I don't know how long he had this issue, this problem. I'm still struggling on how to even properly explain what it is. I can only describe it as a curse.
Is he sick?
A bit more than that. Sometime
What?
Oh, sorry.
before I met him, it happened. And go ahead, Kipper.
I think both me and Taurin were gonna say, what manner of curse?
I was gonna ask for the symptoms.
Oh,
I mean, that kind of plays into the same thing, right?
yeah. Different font, same meaning.
He... Remember how I described him? Always covered, head to toe. Not a single person ever noticed, lying underneath his cloak and his bandages. His ailment was a physical one, though it was affecting him mentally too. One night, before my mentor left, while we were still traveling together, I snuck over to him while he was sleeping. Even then, he had never shown me what lied underneath. Until then, I was traveling with a man who I had never seen the face of. and yet I still trusted my everything to him. And when I took off the mask covering him, when I laid eyes upon him, and I kind of cover my mouth as I speak, what I saw was a man slowly decaying, slowly losing what makes him human. His face was rotting before my very eyes. When I looked at him, I saw nothing but a human struggling to maintain what it means to be himself. And I realized that night that he wasn't sleeping. He knew I was doing it. When I uncovered him, he was staring at me. And he apologized to me. Apologizing that he was not who he always said he was. My mentor described the symptoms as a physical loss of self. Like when he looked in a river and saw himself, it wasn't him anymore. And go ahead.
Is your master an undead?
My mentor, as he told me a long time ago, that he was a knight. He didn't even tell me of what order or who he was associated with. All I know, it was before he met me. He was a knight, and something happened. He came across something that killed his brethren and cursed him. From that day onward, he slowly rotted. From how I understand it, at first it was just a slight exhaustion that never went away. A disturbing thought here and there, until it slowly got worse and worse, where when I saw him that night, when I unveiled him, he was missing parts of his face, that I can see the bone underneath, the muscle that should be covered with skin. I can only imagine how it is now, if he even has any flesh left. But that's not even the part that really hurts. When he left me, I told you that he abandoned me. That was a lie. He never abandoned me. He was saving me. He told me that he was scared that he was going to hurt me. He was frightened of the thoughts that were circling in his head. They were not his. Something else's. I should have stopped him when that happened. I should have told him, promised him that I would not leave him. And I didn't. I was so shocked and scared by what was going on that I couldn't even step forward. why this sword is so important. It's the thing he left with me when he left that day.
I'm so sorry, Ambrose. I know that you've carried the guilt of what happened to him this whole time. But I just want you to know. There wasn't anything that you could have done at the time. I know you put it on yourself that this was you were probably the thing that had kept him going longer. I'm sorry.
Sometimes we have to make hard decisions.
Yeah.
My mentor is everything to me. And I've been trying my hardest to live up to what I thought he may have wanted. What I wanted for myself. I was trying to move forward. However, I was only moving backward. I wasn't just making a vow to Vithius today. I was making it to him. One day I will find him. And I know what I have to do. I asked Vithius if there was something, anything that I can do besides end it. When I asked that question, I knew the answer. I knew there was only one truth. I'm going to have to end everything. I'm going to have to give my mentor the closure he needs. I don't want to see my mentor lose himself. And I know he doesn't either. Which is why I'm telling you all of this. I'm not strong enough to do that. I know I'm not. Every single day I've thought about it. Played through the images in my mind, what I can't do. Trying to pull out the very sword he gave me. To fix things, to settle things. And I know I can't. Not by myself.
I'm so sorry. I got up for 5 seconds.
I know that when that day comes, that I cannot do it alone.
I think.
So, go ahead.
Okay. We'll always be here for you. And I think that he wouldn't want it to be anyone else. As horrible as that sounds.
She says, "You're not by yourself, though."
You're right. I'm not. Not anymore. I am putting everything I have into this right now. I need all of you. When that day comes, I ask of you if you will please stand by me.
I swear, if I've stood by you from the moment I've met you, I will stand with you on that day.
I look up at the sky and take a very deep sigh. The first step is supposed to be the hardest. I am taking that step. I have never spoken about this before. Not anyone. I was scared. Not just for me, but for my mentor. If someone knew what might be happening, he'd be a threat. I know that more than anyone. But I couldn't bring myself to let anyone else know, because this is supposed to be my burden.
She nods from her jar. As you said you will aid me, I too will aid you, in whatever way I am able to.
I look down at Chi. I suppose it does go both ways. I'm sorry. It took having a little god to say, take a step forward and to let you all know. I know that Vithius didn't outright tell me I had to do this, to say all of this. But I thought this was right. If I can't ask for help, how can I say I'm moving forward?
She says, better late than never, right?
I suppose.
Kipper's gonna look a little like his head facing down, holding his own hands. It's just looking a little nervous.
When I suggested that we sit down and rest, I was trying to gather the courage to say this, and I couldn't find it. So I started saying random things. I started trying to break the tension in me. But when we started moving towards the city, I knew I had to say it now. I couldn't wait. If I waited, that first step would have gotten harder. More challenging. I'm not sure I would have been able to make it. I am not going to accuse myself of the mistakes I made previously. I'm not going to apologize to myself or attempt to forgive myself. Instead, I will move forward. I am still sorry for how I treated you all previously, pushing you away, being difficult at times. I will apologize for that. But I will say in return, I'm going to try and move forward. I made a vow, and I'm not going to break it. I will shield guard both the people in front of me, those behind me, and myself. But I can only do that by having all of your help.
She sees Kipper's expression, and after a moment, there's a small mage hand that would give him some pats on his head.
Very silly. Kipper would chime in. I think you've disclosed so much of your deeply held secrets, and I can see how much that it pained you to do that, how much it's pained you this entire time to hold on to it. But not that I've been dishonest with you, but obviously I'm not necessarily an open book myself. I guess I know you might be more stoic generally to me, but even though I seem open, there are still things that I struggle with saying, and I think that in that we are very similar. Especially the elephant in the room, my brother in particular.
You are free to speak when you need to, but do not feel me revealing myself today means that you too need to as well. I felt like I had to do this. That if I didn't now, I'd be failing myself, my mentor, and even Vithius. It was vital that I did this. But I do not want to be putting any pressure on you.
No, it's not pressure. It's just fairness is all. It's hard to see how genuine you're being and still feel that I'm keeping something back. But I can wait. If you're okay with that, that is.
When you are ready, I will always listen. It is not just right. I just said it previously. We are family. And that's what family does. That's what family should do.
Yeah. Agreed. Kipper looks at Taurin, who has been very quiet this whole time.
Hmm. Well, life doesn't get any easier. And being honest with yourself is, one step forward. It's all you can do. move forward.
With pretty rad people, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You're right. I've been struggling to do that for a while now. But maybe it will be different now that I'm accepting that you're here with me.
We can do it together. Like always.
On an off note, I've been practicing this new spell. It's supposed to, when I cast it, I'm intending for it to cast male pattern baldness, but it just turns into guiding bolt and then they die. So, unrelated.
So they fry and become bald. Got it.
Technically, is having no flesh being bald.
I mean, there's no hair.
You remember that time that I did the Shakira dance and then I zapped that monk?
That was ages ago. But yes.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do there.
Has it progressed? Has it gotten any better?
So many dead.
Well, if you were trying to do that to that thing that grabbed me, I think you have not improved much for that spell specifically.
He didn't have any hair. That was just a regular guiding bolt.
I suppose that explains the theory behind it.
Yeah. No, when it comes to you guys in danger, I don't necessarily hold back. You remember the first time Rexmoa fell in the rat dungeon? That was a bit embarrassing, because I had barely known the man more than 3 days at that point, I think, and
The rat attack.
Rat attack.
Hmm.
Your empathy is what makes you strong.
I think my sense of empathy is mostly rooted in my wanting to belong somewhere. And I saw an opportunity to belong somewhere, and I couldn't let anything threaten that. But, not to bring everything down, because we've already shared so much. I'm going to go over there and see if I can collect some herbs. I pull out my apothecary book.
You're gonna have to give me, what was it? I think it was a nature or a survival check. It was either, I think it was nature.
Oh, it's not a medicine. Understood.
No, yeah, it's not medicine. I think it was nature for the apothecary.
I think so.
Oh, okay. Ooh, wow.
That is very good. All right, what are you trying to look for specifically?
Well, I'm just looking for what I can forage within the area. I mean, things to make potions would be great. As much as getting little things for food is fun, I think ingredients for potions would be the most spectacular.
All right. As you are, walking over to the dwarven town, and you pull out your apothecary book and start looking around to see if you find any herbs. Which unfortunately for you, this place has not a lot of them. This is a very dry, rocky area. Most of the plants that you find are dry or they're probably not useful. While you do
maybe
see,
they're good for making fire potions.
hey, that could be a thing. You do see a variety of different things, different plants, but they're all, as I said, and since winter is rolling in and it's the mountains, they're not alive. They're not, I guess, good for harvesting. You see, there's a lot of dried plants. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
My nat 20 didn't do anything.
It was a 19.
No, it was a 19. No, I mean, as I said, I have to roll a little bit in my table of thingies.
Mountain terrain. You might find some berries and some barley.
That is true.
Barley. Oh, so I'm just waiting for you to roll.
I already did.
Oh, so the roll was bad.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Why do you have to roll and I have to roll?
It's a table to see what I give you.
That table sucks.
But yeah,
Allergies.
around that area, nothing is really growing too much. As I said, the most that you can find is probably some moss.
Maybe we'll
keep.
Maybe we'll just keep on keeping on.
Yep.
And then maybe a few minutes from now, I will roll again.
Maybe. Although, I will say, with the pace that you guys are going, you would reach the kingdom. Not quickly, but you would reach to the point where it is nighttime. As you are in the mountains, you can see how the watchtowers gives small light on their surroundings, and the path, the trails into this mountain have some braziers to light them up until you reach the gates of the Dwarven Kingdom, which you guys have already seen. Large stone gates. These ones are now slightly open, as they usually are. But you don't see the influx of people that you found as you entered the area. Obviously, you guys entered in a very precarious situation. But now it seems to have calmed down, and you just spot the same traffic that you would in town. It's a little bit more reduced because it is nighttime. But yeah, as you approach, you start seeing the guards and everything. And you can enter the Dwarven Kingdom, no problem. This time there is nobody interrupting you, nobody trying to keep you from entering. And eventually you find yourself into this large main hall with the pillars holding on to the platforms above and the large stairways that connect to the upper and obviously lower levels. What are you guys doing now that you've arrived again into the Dwarven Kingdom?
Trying to completely compose myself and make sure I'm not slightly well, what would be akin to red-faced for Ambrose, which is basically his energy veins glowing. Going up to, because we're still outside, right? But
yeah, I would say that. I mean,
gate.
Yeah, I would say that you're walking towards the gate.
Well, unlike last time, there's no reason to rush. Just go up to the gate and hope they don't recognize us as being the ones who caused havoc a bit ago.
I want to roll to see if they recognize you or not, actually.
Because I imagine it's probably the guardsmen are generally the same people.
Yes,
Who might have,
for the most part.
who we might have
probably at least know that
tossed
we've
around
been
as a bear.
relieved.
Yes, you could have. Okay.
Imagine
was
the
a
one we
bear.
talk. Imagine the one we talked to specifically is one of the guys just got thrown by Taurin.
Nah.
So
I'll be looking a little smug then.
as you
Just
guys,
that.
all right, as you guys enter through the door, you can see that none of them really like immediately recognize you. Like they're not making a fuss out of it, but there are some looks that you guys get as you are entering again. A slight look of confusion, that overall, and you can see some not so friendly looks from other guards. But other than that, they are keeping their posts and they're just allowing you in.
What, you've never seen a Parengon before? And like Kipper does like a yo kind of hand gesture.
Well, unfortunately for them, we need to find the warden, and the warden may not necessarily be at the prison.
I mean,
It really
And-
sucked if a bear came burrowing through here.
oh my lord.
No. So I am going to go up to one of the guards.
So, before you do this,
Right.
as you guys are arriving at the spot, you see Rexmoa has been this whole time with you, by the way. We're just saying he's been quiet. You see that Rexmoa takes a second and he kind of leans against one of the railings that are in the entrance to this large like main hall area. You can see him kind of huffing a little bit, like he is quite exhausted. However, when asked about this, he would just kind of dismiss it, saying that, hey, you know, it's age, probably.
I was just a grumpy old man, huffing. Dude, okay, that's good.
We've had a long day. We should probably get you to a place of rest soon, but we need to speak with the warden first.
Yep. He would totally agree with you. And yeah, you approach the guard, and what are you doing?
So, hoping that he doesn't actually recognize me.
Okay.
I'm going to say, hello, I don't know his name, but we have some business with the warden of your city. We need to speak with him.
Let me roll a little
That's it.
something here. Oh boy.
Do you
You guys know
where we
Wade?
could find him?
I'm just messing.
As you approach the guard and you start talking to him, you can see he is staring daggers at you. He goes, I know where to find him. I thought you were meant to not go outside. What are you doing out?
So
The mountain puked us
I-
out.
she's not entirely wrong. You felt the earthquakes from beneath the ground as well, correct?
Yes, we've all been feeling them. It's all over the goddamn mountain.
Yeah. So have you seen the have you received the survivors yet?
He looks at you with a little curious expression at your question. However, he says, wasn't that your job? Why are you asking me?
It's difficult to explain. A lot of things happened in the mines. We need to speak with the warden to properly explain what happened.
Well, I don't know how you got out, and I'm certainly not going to question why you're stupid enough to come back, but I guess I can direct you.
We're stupid enough to come back because we did our job.
I'm just stupid.
He looks at Kipper like, really?
Kipper's eyes like point in different directions.
Oh boy. But yeah, then he directs you over to one of the higher levels. You notice that he mentioned that the warden at this point is not at the prison, but he would be around the commercial district of the area. That was where he was last spotted.
Well, guess we're heading over there then.
And as you guys are starting to head in, Taurin, you hear him say under his breath, "I never liked these goddamn druids."
Druids?
Just like looks back at him, sneering, like, "What did you say?"
You can tell that he saw you, like doing the gesture, but he's like trying to keep his like serious and like guard posture and everything.
Look at the hiss comes out.
Why are you scowling at me? I didn't say anything, obviously.
Hope you get cat scratch fever.
But yeah,
You
guys
my
do.
neck.
Hope you turn
Nail
into a
cannon
half human,
victim.
half rat.
If I only had that vial still, I'd have a curse on me at hand. Yeah.
Splash that man with a potion that makes him bees.
Right.
Oh, if you guys didn't sell that one.
You remind me of my potion of question mark.
Oh yeah, something like of enduring or something like that.
No,
Hold
it
on,
was,
Vial
Uh,
of persistent question mark.
Yeah.
persistent.
Persistent question mark, correct.
I'll be mischievous. in a bit.
Diarrhea.
Persistent lactose intolerance.
Ooh.
I mean, who knows? It is persistent something.
It's
Unfortunately, I already have
it's
that
a potion
IRL.
of persistent prolapse.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
no.
That is not good.
You're gonna
That's
need a
nice.
Ziploc bag.
Oh.
I don't think they have that in this world, so fuck
You're
it.
gonna have to invent it.
Jesus.
It's okay, you can push it back in.
Persistent
Oh, my
enduring.
They
Lord.
got spells for that.
Oh my lord.
I'll say I'll be mischievous later with my potions, though. I'll get
That
him
is
back.
good. Okay.
This
so-
potion could be
Greenie is
anything.
like hating me right
Yeah,
now.
Greenie is just not having a fun time. But yeah, you guys are able to move forward again through the entrance and into, you know, what would be like the main stairway of this city. Again, traffic is very slow, not mostly because it's nighttime. But you can see the odd people going up and down. Obviously, people coming up from the lower levels as you approach. And are you guys just going immediately to the market district where he is, where he has instructed you?
Yep. Might as well. Otherwise, I might miss him. He just like is now in a completely different area because he teleported and walked through a door.
It's just Oblivion teleports.
It's yeah.
Yep. Okay. So, you know how to get there. The man actually gave you the directions on how to just properly approach the marketplace. You've been there also one time. You see the same sight. A lot of people still roaming around the streets and buying things, maybe just enjoying a meal, or just basically relaxing around the area.
We're gonna.
No, go ahead.
We're gonna burst his bubble. He's not gonna like our answer, probably. I hope we're okay. Okay, that was it. My ad lib.
That's so good.
Part of me is wondering if we should sleep first. Can we go to sleep first, or is the time limit not allow us to sleep?
We were told we have until tomorrow. The actual time was, well, not stated. It's best we try to talk to him now, especially if the dwarves haven't surfaced yet.
Should we go check? Can we go to the thing first? Maybe?
I hope the warden knows. The warden has already seen the dwarves. That means, even if we didn't come here, we are technically free.
Yeah, I would like to be officially free. Although...
it might cause some people to be annoyed if we go to sleep without talking to him first.
Damn, bro, it's talking video game terms.
I meant like
I...
to the mind
but
to see if they made it
also,
out.
Nap time.
Um,
And also sleeping. But yes, no, you make actually valid points.
Trying to type and talk at the same time, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I would say, some of you, whoever wants to do it, can give me a perception check, please.
Save this!
I'll
I
let the
have
two of you
big
do it.
eyes.
You guys are the.
You going
You
for
guys have that perception in your dogs. I don't know what I'm saying.
That is true.
Perception in your dogs?
Oh, my
Wait, never
lord.
mind.
That is
I
a
was gonna
big
do
perception.
it, but Taurin beat me.
That is
With my
a
cat eyes.
big
With a
perception.
wiffle bat.
Okay.
I mean-
she beat you with domestic violence?
Yeah.
What?
So, Taurin, you kind of, start looking about. You remember how the warden looked. Mostly the armor. You start looking around, trying to see between this not so large, I wouldn't call it sea of people, but there's a crowd of people looking about, and you are able to spot the same spots that you were before. The diner, maybe some of the shops. You can see around dwarves doing their own thing, and you also are able to spot in one of these directions that somebody is making a very light hand gesture at, well, specifically you guys. You know him. You know how he looks. It is
How he
the
looks shifty.
it is the spellcaster that you guys have had conversations with. He is just standing in the outside of one of the buildings, just kind of laying back and noticing you guys and seeing how you are searching. He didn't decide to make his presence known, but now that Taurin is looking about, you can see that he is kind of like, saying hi.
Oh. I would say
Well-
speak of the devil, but we really weren't speaking about him.
No. Talk about curious meetings in strange places, I suppose.
Is he waving us over?
He is. Should we go say hi?
He probably, if he could feel the power of Ixis before, then he could probably feel the power of Vithius now. Especially considering he was in town when it happened.
She says, now, be nice.
Also, I'm like not hiding the fact that I have it. I mean, it's literally just on a sword on my back.
Yeah, I was about
Oh
to
yeah,
ask.
no, and I think we all we
Like,
can
there's
all
no way for me to-
visibly see. There's Yeah.
Unless I start like covering up the hilt
Mm-hmm.
when it's not like when I'm not currently using it.
Exactly. It is gonna show. Yes, you are correct, Ambrose.
But also, I'm sorry. There's no way you could convince Kipper that he wasn't now, like, Vithius's chosen, considering that Vithius literally appeared in front of him and gave him a sword and wise words.
Yeah, well, you didn't hear the wise words, so ha.
That is true. The words itself you didn't hear, but you know.
How dare you?
Besides like the stuff that happened before we got back up
Correct. It was just the last little bit.
But I was also speaking aloud when Vithius was speaking to me, so it is reasonable to assume that there was more to that conversation.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is the person who you're able to spot between the people.
Well, if maybe he'll be able to help us find the warden. And I'll kind of glance at Rexmoa.
Rexmoa has a forehead vein popping at the frowning.
He has his like scaled fingers like prying into his
Yeah.
Like,
He is not super happy, but you know he never
Taurin
is
would be
when it
excited.
talks. Yeah,
Torrance is always excited to see Theo. She's like, let's go.
hell yeah.
Wizard friend. Let's go.
This is what happens when Rexmoa drinks a random vial on the side of the road, and it turns out it was a silence vial.
Yes. But yeah.
He drank the persistence potion. It was persistent old age and inability to speak.
Oh, that's the whole title. It's like a paragraph of symptoms.
It's an anime title. I'm sorry.
Oh Jesus.
What? I want to watch that anime. It's
But yeah.
about old people.
It's about old people.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you guys approach Theodric, and he had no intentions on approaching you guys. You can see he's kind of like just staying about. He did kind of waved you around. And as you guys approach him, he gives you a smile. And he says, well, I guess that's a job done, right?
Torrance will just smile
Oh.
back. Yeah, sure. Not really sure what he means, but yeah.
Yeah, I think so. There was some strange stuff down there, but the dwarves should be okay.
You can see him, Ambrose, you can see him, he was looking at each one of you, but specifically once he focuses on you, you can see his eyes get focused on something specifically about your sword.
He's almost like he's not looking at me.
Yeah. He just immediately, his eyes immediately dart over there.
Hey, my eyes are up here.
And
You see something you like, huh?
That's not my eyes.
and Theodric says, you shouldn't be showing that in public, Ambrose.
What? It's not like his dick is out.
Oh god.
Wasn't ready for that.
I mean, we could always just wrap it with an old cloth.
I was taking a sip of water.
Oh, did I break you?
A little bit. I'm gonna take another sip of water. Hold on.
He says, while the average person may not know what this is, I am sure some people do. And, well, such a bold display may not be a good idea.
I don't really have a convenient way of hiding it. I kind of need the weapon within arm's reach.
Theodoric takes a half step back and he says, May I see it a little bit up close?
I
Just let him
frown,
look at it. Don't let him touch it.
and I think back to what happened with Vithius literally like moments ago. And I sigh, and I just kind of like remove like the sling and the blade at the same time, so I'm not like actually taking out the blade, just like the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of like hold it in front of me, not exactly handing it to him per se, but like pointing like the stone towards him.
Okay. As you do this, Theo would get closer and his hand would move over the stone as if he was trying to get some sort of, well, you know, he's trying to inspect something with magic, with the hand movement that he does. Even his eyes, the white color of his eyes, kind of have a slight glow to them for the moment that he is doing this hand motion. And he says, wow, you've made it. How did you get this? I must know. This is one of the stones.
What happened, I probably shouldn't say in public.
Right. You're right. It's not a conversation we can have around here. Yes.
Oh, big mama.
You can probably put the sword back on your back. So, well, we can probably go to my house if you'd like. But, are the dwarves alright? Did you manage to get them proper healing?
Explain a bit more when we can meet in private, but the dwarves should be safe. But that's why we are looking for the warden. We're trying to find the warden right now so we can confirm with him if he's seen heads or tails of them.
Well, I can't say I have, but should? Look, I'm not one to pry too much, but I don't think the dwarves will like if you've done a bad job.
Like I said, they should be safe. It's hard to explain without saying a lot of things.
And Taurin, we're using your last perception roll because it was pretty good. Taurin, you just kind of look around as you see Theodoric kind of admiring the stone. You kind of move closer so you can body block a little bit, and there's not a lot of, like people looking around and seeing this group of people like, whoa, obsessing over something. And as you kind of take a glance around again, you see the wardens. The warden is coming out of one of the, I guess, businesses of the market. You can see he is accompanied by a small platoon of like 4 other dwarven guards. But you can see him over there, like he's just starting to walk out of one of them.
And that's the warden we're looking for.
Yes, that would be the one. You would know that is the warden that, gave you this task.
She is saying something to Theo.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. She frowns a little, but then she speaks up to Theo. Perhaps as mentioned, this is something explained better in private. And yep. So Taurin, you would be able to notice, yes.
I was gonna say, not to break the party too soon, but I think I see somebody we might know, and I'll point in that general direction, basically.
Kipper wasn't
That's
paying attention.
beautiful. Good
Yeah.
eye.
Who's the person that we might know in a specific direction?
The warden.
The warden.
Yeah, Keeper, now that you've been told and they're pointing at him, you can see that it is the warden with a small platoon of dwarven soldiers.
I'll
Oh.
give Theo a curt nod and start to move over to the warden.
And Theo would just kind of go back to where he was and he says, well, I'm sure you have a lot to discuss. Maybe you can, once you are done, you can come back over here and we can all go to a more private place.
We can all go to my house. Eyebrow raise emoji. Eyebrow raise emoji.
That's pretty much what he's saying, yes.
I've got your sandwiches in my house.
We did say we want to talk about this in private.
That is true.
When I mean privates, I mean your balls.
Jesus Christ.
I guess like what Kipper said earlier, I mean, technically speaking, we're already on that track.
If you've seen the shaft.
Oh my lord. You guys are awful.
Someone must stop me.
Theo just wants his hands all over it to inspect it.
Jesus
I slept for 2
Christ.
hours last night. It's
Alright.
all going downhill from here.
So you guys break up from Theodric to go to the warden. As you approach, obviously the guards that are kind of around him just stop you, but noticing it's you, they just kind of call the warden, and the warden just, shows himself now to the group. And he is kind of, you can see there's a hopeful expression in his face, but seeing that you are alone, his hopes kind of go down. You can see that moment where he's like, oh no. And he goes, right, so what happened?
Seeing his expression, I'll kind of frown and say, was hoping we wouldn't have to have this conversation. Okay. It does not look as bad as it does. But can we talk in private?
What do you need to tell me in private? You can
Things
speak
are-
here? I need to know if I have to add 6 more coffins to tomorrow's funeral. We cannot be speaking in
Definitely.
private.
Okay, so first things first.
Be careful
did
how much you
find-
say.
Oh, Kipper's gonna specifically focus on the task we were given, not the mystical stuff.
Okay. I mean, hey, that's up to you.
So we were able to find survivors. Of the 6 that you tasked us to find, we were able to find 5. We asked them what happened to the 6th. They said they had been swallowed by the earth, sadly, in one of the
We-
trailers.
Confirmed the 6th one's death. We were not able to recover anything for that one.
You
Yeah.
can see that the man, as you mentioned the fact that you found them, he sighs and he goes, kind of like, very relieved that you found them. And that the mention of the 6th one not being there, he just kind of nods and he says, alright, well, we're going to have to arrange funeral services and probably some compensation to their families. Well, where are they?
That's the thing that's better explained in private. I thought they'd already be here, honestly.
What do you mean they'd already be here? Did you? And you can see his eyes widen. Did you let them alone to get back on their own?
Definitely
Not exactly.
not on purpose.
Look, this is what we need to talk about this part in private. This has other implications.
you can see that the man is starting to get a little bit angry, and he says,
We know they are safe. They're okay.
We just got a little separated.
Well, kind of.
and
They
the
were about to make it to the exit, and we were on a land bridge, and they were able to make it to the exit. We were not, and we had to find another exit.
so the man says, well, if that's the case, we're going back to the mines, and you are going to get them out however you can. Otherwise, I told you,
No.
it's better for you to not come back.
Okay, if we go to the mines, can we have an actual private discussion?
Sure. Then I'll
Okay.
say, I'll think about closing the mines so you can't get out anymore.
You won't need to. Let's go. This is difficult. Let's just go. Yeah.
So,
Can we bring sleeping bags to the mines, though? Because,
can you bring what? Sorry?
sleeping bags to the mines. I need to sleep, but we need to get the job done, and I want to combine the two.
You can see that, like, he doesn't care about that, and he just kind of makes the other guards kind of continue to move you. They're not like pushing you or anything, but they're like forming a blockade so you don't move everywhere else. And they're kind
Just
of leading
imagining
you
they're
into
like
the
just
direction.
doing like the shooing hand gesture. They're just shooing us in a direction.
They're kind of, but a little bit more threatening.
Don't just groan.
We're not
Masculine
going.
shooing.
We're trying to make this easy.
And then, I mean, he just kind of nods at what you have to say, and they're gonna slowly lead you on the lower levels to where the mines are, where, you know, past the forge, and the level of the mines that was almost completely abandoned, where most of the mine shafts are closed because of the forges are still like roaring hot and just producing armors and weapons at all times. Eventually, after a few minutes of more walking and going downstairs, you guys would be able to be again in this level that is more the mine shaft level. And you guys are mostly alone. You can see that there's only like a small patrol of guards just kind of walking around, but like he already has a small patrol of guards around him, so...
Hold on. Kipper's gonna ask a question.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, dang nabbit. This doesn't apply. I was thinking of, something that would restrict the sounds that we're talking about, but it would literally just cast, like, silence, would just make it so any words we say would not be audible.
Yeah, it's inside the range, not for the outside, unfortunately.
Just cast it multiple times all around you, but it requires concentration, so you need a bunch of people.
Yeah, you need like...
Kipper's very sweaty.
But yeah. You guys are there now. As I said, the place is mostly empty. You can see only like guards just patrolling around, and obviously that's as empty as it's gonna get. Mostly because, as I mentioned before, the warden already has a few guards with him. So he stops you guys in your tracks, and he goes, "Right, speak. I need to hear this."
Okay, so this should probably not be said to just anyone. Only people who are able to be a bit quieter until this can be properly explained to other people. But do you know what's causing the earthquakes?
I have no idea. The earth is moving? How am I supposed to know?
Well, we do. We met the thing.
Well, did you kill it? I don't like my house shaking every few hours.
I look down and I look back
Yeah.
up.
There is no killing it if you want to live.
What are you
It's-
talking about? What kind of creature is down there?
Look, what's causing the earthquakes is the existence of Vithius. That's how we know the dwarves are okay. We met with her. We confirmed what was going on. Vithius has promised us that the dwarves have a safe way to get back here.
Your statement, he looks a little skeptic.
Not believing me?
Yeah,
You
he
would've
looks
thought.
a little skeptic. But you can also notice that he kind of also believes you a little bit. And he goes, "Oh, I find that hard to believe, lad. Are you telling me all the stories are true?"
Don't worry, it was even more surreal for us.
And you met her in
She-
person?
Well, we could only see a part of her. We said that we separated with the dwarves at a bridge. We fell. The dwarves didn't. When we fell, it was Vithius who saved us from falling to our death.
The entire mountain range. This entire mountain range that you've built your kingdom into is just atop this massive creature. I didn't believe until today.
Right, yes, that's the tales and everything. I know those stories, lad. But now you're telling me they're all real? We have a giant creature right below us?
Okay, so Dishonor, question. Did you get an ability similar to Rexmoa when you got the sword?
To you mean yeah.
Out of
Yeah,
character?
Yeah,
I will
oh.
tell you that my blade is not without benefit. But it would not be a good idea, I feel,
Plus-
to just reveal that to anyone.
Plus, in character, you don't even know that Rexmoa has an ability like that. He has not said it to anybody.
No, that's why once again I said it out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I was
Okay,
just-
actually, here's a question. Would I have my paladin abilities?
Well, those are level 2, right? So.
What do I mean, like lay on hands, divine sense?
Oh yeah, totally. If it's a level 1 paladin ability, of course.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if I actually had those yet, or we needed to sleep first.
No, you're good. You made the oath. It's all good.
Well, I guess I can kind of prove it, but not in the way you'd expect. The fall I suffered was, in a way, worse. And I think my closeness, and I kind of like gesture to my like body structure, referring to the fact that I am an Earth Genasi. I think
Mhm.
my similarities to the Earth meant that when I met Vithius, that I gained something. And I'll kind of just like, I'm gonna borrow you, Kipper. I'm just going to use an ability on you. I'll go ahead and use Lay on Hands. Technically speaking, I don't think it actually does anything because I think you're at max health, but
Is there a
either
visible
way,
effect?
yes, there's visible effects. When I hover my hand over you, you can see how the energy lines in my body I kind of like touch your like shoulder with my left hand. The energy veins on my left arm begin to kind of like brighten up and spiral down my into my hand before appearing as these golden, almost like snake-like in the way they kind of like move towards you. And as they touch you, they kind of just empower you with this nice, warm feeling. Likely the same feeling we felt when we met Vithius.
Correct.
Prior to an hour ago, I was completely incapable of doing things like this.
You can see the man, and he goes, "Oh, how does that prove anything? I don't know what you could do before."
When I came in here, if I was capable of magic, I would have used it. I'm a swordsman. That's about it. I kind of like shouldered the blade a little bit.
Well, whether you believe us or not, it was our duty to tell you at least what we experienced in those mines.
Look.
It's best to at least keep our warning in mind, but Vithius is moving. And from what I've seen from my short amount of travels is I think the other gods are starting to move too.
You can see, like, he sighs and just kind of paces around from side to side, looking a little, you know, he's not doing very well. And he says, "Well, that's going to be another thing we have to worry about. Now, where are the lost miners?"
That's the point we're trying to make. With Vithius waking, she promised us that she herself would guide them to the surface. They have to be safe. They might just be taking a longer route than we did.
So Kipper just recently got a spell.
Okay.
Oh. Dang nabbit, it's as long as this creature is within 1,000 feet of you. It's locate creature.
Well, you don't know that.
Yeah, we don't actually know how far they are.
Yeah,
In
but
fact, what if they're actually right behind us? Oh?
we're still within the city, right?
Correct.
Okay. Kipper's just gonna be like, okay, well, I can give this a shot at least. I'm gonna see if I can locate them within this area, because we know that they exited somehow. But there must be how many exits in these mines? Have you guys been using these mines for hundreds of years? There has to be old defunct exits that could have shaken loose.
You can see that the man gestures at obviously all the entrances of the mine shaft. Most of them are blocked at this point. They've blocked them with like large boulders. Because this place is not like the upper levels where it's a nice carved floor and all of that. This is pretty much like inside of the mountain. The walls are just rock, natural rock and everything. All right, so you're going to use locate creature. Interesting. You're going to feel the dwarves that you guys found, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Kipper, you close your eyes and slowly your mind starts to drift. It's almost like a sonar. You know, there's pulses and you start feeling the many like twisting mine shafts that take people places. You start trying to locate the people that you've met. It's pulsing and pulses as you continue to locate, when finally you feel the energy of the dwarves. They are approaching. They're not going incredibly fast, but you can feel their essence, and they are moving towards the surface. They are close. How close specifically you don't know, but you can feel that they are getting closer and closer and closer.
Kipper's just gonna look up. He's like, they're coming out. Gods, could you aid me with this? I'm sorry, Warden. Could you lend them for a moment? I can feel them coming out of the exit.
The warden just kind of gestures at the guards, just kind of like, we don't really, there's no, we can't do nothing else, so. The guards would be like, right, what you want us?
They've been injured in the mines. While we were down there, I tried to help heal them as best I could, but I don't know if they've gotten more knackered. The last
They're
time
definitely safe. If the goddess herself says so, they are.
That is true.
Well, Kipper's just gonna kind of take the lead and start running down.
Yeah, as you feel this like aura, this like energy, you start moving towards the walls to kind of figure out what is going on or where they're coming from, until you can sense the energy like it's not right in front of you, but it's like further away, but it's coming to you at a straight line, which you can probably deduct that it is a tunnel that leads straight over there. However, there is one of those large boulders that I mentioned before that is blocking that tunnel. The tunnel has been closed.
Oh crap. They're behind this quite sizable rock.
The warden was following you guys, by the way, as you were moving. He was kind of a little bit ways away, but just, you know, still around.
Is there... Well, I guess this thing isn't gonna move itself. Kipper's gonna like...
Yes, it is like a large kind of like carved rock, I guess you would say it. So it's pretty much like a big, I guess, stop on the door.
So Kipper's just gonna like take out his quarterstaff, which, fun fact, he has a quarterstaff. He's gonna take that out and start trying to pry the rock by his tiny little self.
Oh, well, let's see. Can she try to reduce it? Oh, interesting. However, as you guys are, well, Kipper, you start doing this, and the warden just kind of rolls his eyes, is kind of like going to entertain your idea. So he calls over more of the guards that are patrolling around, and in a multiple effort, so Chi, you don't have to use your spell. In an effort of multiple people, they slowly start moving the rock away. Yeah, so you don't spend your mana points, Chi. Don't worry. I know you're kind of drained. I can see it. But that's fine. Yeah. So the dwarves managed to slowly move the rock, just kind of halfway. So, because the warden is kind of like, I don't know if this is a good idea, you know, to open up mines and everything. And in the end, you see the mine shaft and the darkness that is going for a little bit longer in this like passageway. And all the way at the end of, to everyone's surprise, you see one small light, one small lantern turn on.
Can you hear us?
You're yelling that through the tunnel? Yeah, it echoes through
Taurin.
this tunnel. And you hear cheers echoing again. And suddenly the thumping of various heavy footsteps are running towards you, and you would see the group of 5 dwarves running over to the exit, just kind of pushing themselves out. They just kind of spill out and fall to the ground, but they're all very happy to finally be out.
When I get closer, I'll try to like help the one who has an injured leg to get past the rock.
Yeah, he would be like the one on the back of the group. He's trying to go faster, but obviously his leg doesn't help him at all. But he can still make it, you know? And yeah, the dwarves are there, and the warden specifically says, huh, well, I guess you were not lying. Well, that means that, well, we have even bigger problems below us.
At least it's not malevolent. It's just nature increasing in veracity. But you have at least this good thing to look forward to.
Well, we can live with the earthquakes all over. You said she was moving? What if she decides to move a little more and suddenly our mountain is split in half?
But 5 live where 6 could have died. I know it's something awful that your people will have to deal with, but at least there's at least a miniature celebration, I think, for these 5. Maybe
Vithius.
a pub.
Vithius is struggling with herself right now. She's not trying to cause any of this. She's trying to stay dormant.
The man says, well, you've done your part. And unfortunately, this is probably worse than what we thought.
That's why I wanted to tell you in private. Not everyone should be hearing of this at the same time. But I want you to know that Vithius is feeling for all of us. She's hurting just as you are.
Well, we're going to have to inform this to the king. I am not sure. After his brother's death, I have no idea how he's going to take this.
Have they performed the memorial service for his brother yet?
Not yet. That's going to be tomorrow. But I fear like these bad news are just going to make things worse.
I wish I could have visited in times of ease. I like your cuisine.
Well, as part of my promise, you're free to go. You will no longer be wanted by the guards. And, well, Whatever business you have on the city is your own now. I was told you were wanting to speak about the war. Perhaps it's not a good moment, but well, I could probably arrange a meeting if you'd like.
I think what's going on with Vithius is a direct result of what we need to speak about. I think the reason why Vithius is stirring is because of the cult of fire.
That may be so. I am still going to help you. But for now, rest. I think this is a lot of information. Nobody should be aware of this. Please mention this to no one.
Don't worry. You'll find that we tend to
trying in the first place.
act as a secret of vault. A vault
Good.
of secrets. Dang nabbit, I did that backwards.
Good. Alright, we'll leave you be. Then you have some rest. We'll speak in the morning. And then you can see that the guards are already taking the miners to their outside of this level. And yeah, the man also retreats after all the guards have been have taken them.
I will, upon looking at like the miners as they like get up and have the guards help escort them, I'll smile at the miners.
Good. And with that, we're going to end the session.
Wait, that
right
sounds
there.
very weird. That
I
sounds
mean-
weird. I just realized.
I'm gonna
don't think so.
smile at the miners.
I don't think so. But we're going to end the session right there. So we're going to say goodbye to the people watching the VODs on YouTube. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And I will see you guys on the next week. And we are going to go and raid somebody.